Alright, yes guys, welcome to the trade recap of today on the 19th of August. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. Let's recap this day. Reasoning behind why I took no trades today. Let's get straight into it. So on the 15-minute time frame, as usual, we're going to mark out the key levels and obvious points of buy side and sell side. So first things first, you can see that we have an obvious 15-minute high, which I'm going to mark out quickly for price. And this is not London highs because it's at 5:15, so it's just 15 minutes outside of London, and we can mark this as buy side. And then once we've marked this as buy side, we're going to copy this and bring this over onto ES as well. So now we are seeing a bearish SMT on NQ, which you can see. So on the other hand, we also have a bullish SMT on ES. Now this is the main reason why I was not liking the price action today. Price is being stung from both directions. Bearish SMT from ES taking the New York Open high and NQ didn't, taking out London lows on NQ and not on ES, which means that's going to be a bullish SMT on ES, a bearish SMT on NQ at the New York Open. Therefore, price is in the mix of both sides. And then following a bias, we will get into that in a second as well. So we are currently on Tuesday. Now we're going to look at Monday, which you can see Monday's high would be right here. Previous day high. Okay, so let's take a little look to the left as well. So Tuesday, Monday, Friday, back to Monday, previous week low. So we can mark that out as well. Previous week low. And then whatever we do on NQ, we are going to follow up on ES as well, which you can see that massive difference between the two assets of previous week low. Therefore, NQ is more likely to take previous week low than ES. Because this low is at 1:15 a.m., Asia runs up to 2, so that's going to be Asia lows, and then London lows would be this low. So we've taken London and Asia on NQ, we have taken London on ES, and then a bullish SMT at Asia between the two assets there. So now we've marked out the key levels on both NQ and ES, previous day high, buy side, Asia lows, London lows, and previous week low. We are now going to determine our overall bias. So starting on the daily time frame as of today, you can see that we have NQ as an overall bearish bias, as the bullish gap got inverse, so the draw is going to be towards the next bullish gap or low. And then for ES, we are currently trading out of this bullish imbalance. So this would be a form as a bearish SMT between imbalances on ES. So we can take the daily down as bearish. And obviously, as of now, this is showing the end of day closure on the daily. So where price action is currently at as of now, which is inside of the bullish gap. So the draw has been met entirely. So now the daily is going to be bullish. So by looking at the 4-hour time frame on NQ, you can see ES is currently trading out of a 4-hour bullish fair value gap, and NQ is currently trading out of nothing. We traded out of this bearish gap, the draw would be the next low. We took out the low, we went neutral, and then we're not trading into a 4-hour bullish gap as of now. This one got inversed. This is the only gap we can trade out of, but price hasn't traded into that, so that's going to be a neutral bias on the 4-hour time frame. Hourly time frame, in this case, there is an hourly bullish gap, which you guys can see down here, which price actually did trade into on the hourly, so we can mark this out. So price trades down into the hourly bullish gap. We are currently not inside of a bearish gap, and out of this bearish gap we met the draw of the low, so the hourly is going to be bullish. So as you can see on the 15-minute time frame, we have a 15-minute bullish gap, which you can see for price. So if we drag this across, I know it's not the biggest one, and some people potentially didn't even see this at all. Price on NQ has traded into that 15-minute bullish gap, and we are currently not inside of a 15-minute bearish gap, so the 15-minute bias is going to be bullish. And then if we look on the 5-minute time frame for the final result, we are currently not inside the 5-minute bearish gap as of now, and price as of entry traded into the 5-minute bearish gap, resulting in a 5-minute bearish bias. As of now, it's neutral, so the bias is bullish, and then upon trading into the 5-minute bearish gap, price went to neutral. So we can take it down as neutral for now. We will leave this here. Our bias overall, which you can see here, neutral, neutral, bullish, bullish, bearish. Right now we are bullish, so let's monitor price. Now, as you can see here, following a bullish bias, we have a sweep of sell side, Asia lows swept, bullish SMT on ES, and price has met the objective after taking sell side. And yes, we do have previous week low there, but we've already swept London lows, Asia lows, bullish SMT on ES. You can be looking for longs as of this point. So let's fast forward price. Considering also right now we're inside of macro, boom. So as of this candle here, price trades into the 5-minute bearish gap, now flipping the 5-minute from neutral to bearish. Now our bias is going to be bearish, bearish, bullish, bullish, neutral. Upon a neutral result, you can remove this off, and that gives you the final bias to be neutral. We have 2 bearish results, 2 bullish. That is a neutral bias. So we are not going to be taking shorts because the sweep of buy side, price already met the objective upon the SMT formed at Asia lows. So price already swept Asia lows, London lows, etc. There's no reason to be taking shorts. There is no sweep of buy side. So there is no trade that you want to take here. Following a neutral bias as well, this trade would not be valid. So following the sweep of buy side, ES swept the New York Open high and NQ didn't. There's a bearish SMT, which you can see for price as ES took the high. And then at this low, you can see we also have a bullish SMT on ES. So generically, what this means is that we had a bearish SMT, NQ met the objective of the low, ES didn't. Therefore, we are not going to be taking shorts in this scenario as we have an overall neutral bias, and this here is going to be a period of accumulation. So no trades are going to be taken here, and our bias is no longer bullish, so we are not going to be taking longs here either. Now, looking at price as of now, even if he was to take a long, there is no mitigation block and no breaker block paired with this fair value gap. Therefore, this would not be a valid entry for longs, even though we've swept sell side, and potentially if you had a bullish bias, this trade still wouldn't even be valid. So there'll be no trades taken longs, no trades taken for shorts. That was my thought process there. Price then obviously displaced again as of now, and then if we look on the 15-minute time frame after 10 a.m, we trade into the 15-minute bearish gap. So the 5 and 15-minute is bearish, the daily's bearish. That is now a bearish bias. So let's fast forward price and see if we get an opportunity for shorts. Price then gradually starts to potentially displace lower and then displaces lower outside of macro, which you can see there. So we can't take trades outside of macro, so this is an avoidable trade, and there is no fair value gap presented as of now. Price then creates a fair value gap and a displacement below the short-term low outside of macro. Not going to be taking this trade because it's outside of macro, and on ES there is no displacement and no gap, so this is definitely a no trade. So let's fast forward price towards the second day of macro. Okay, perfect. So price has now swept Asia lows on ES and previous week low on NQ. That's going to be a bullish SMT on ES at previous week low, and from this point price was forming an overall bullish bias. This current 4-hour candle is open. We traded into the 4-hour bullish gap. The 4-hour is bullish, the daily is bullish because we're trading out of the daily bullish gap. The hourly time frame is also bullish because this candle is still open and we're trading out of the hourly bullish gap. So the overall bias as of now is bullish after sweeping previous week low. As of now, I'm looking for this order block to be inversed and see a shift in market structure, fair value gap paired with this. If it got inversed to be then a breaker block. Price then creates another previous short-term high to be a bearish order block. I want to see this get inversed, turn into a breaker block paired with the gap. Price fails to displace and then continues lower, which you can see here, and then brings us to the end of the second day of macro. Price displaced and the entry of this gap, even if it was a valid trade, is outside of macro. So there's simply just no trades to take there inside of the second day of macro. And if you actually want to bring price to the lunch had no other opportunities for us to take. Inside of the lunch macro, price started to accumulate. I marked out this point of sell side, which ended up getting taken, I believe, towards the end of the lunch macro, which you can see on ES, it got taken, created equal lows on NQ, all the way at the end of the lunch macro. So today concluded is a no trade day, and hopefully this daily recap of my thought process today for price made sense to you guys. If it did, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if it is the first time of you hearing my voice, and guys, comment any suggestions that you guys have for future videos on this channel, and any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And until the next one, I'll speak to you guys shortly. Have a great rest of your day.